The bustling metropolis of New York City found itself at the heart of a political storm in early 2025. Its charismatic leader, Mayor Eric Adams, became embroiled in a corruption scandal that sent shockwaves through the city's corridors of power. Adams, a former police captain who had risen to prominence as a champion of law and order, was accused of accepting bribes and engaging in illicit activities during his time in office. The charges against him were grave, painting a picture of a politician who had strayed far from his oath of public service. Federal prosecutors alleged that Adams had used his position to enrich himself and his allies, accepting lavish gifts and lucrative contracts in exchange for political favors. The news of his indictment sent a chill through the city, leaving many to wonder if the man they had entrusted with their safety and well-being had betrayed their trust. As the case unfolded, a sense of unease settled over New York. The accusations against Adams struck at the very heart of the city's identity, casting a long shadow over its reputation as a bastion of justice and integrity. The mayor, once a symbol of hope and progress, now found himself at the center of a scandal that threatened to tarnish his legacy and erode public confidence in the city's leadership. The weight of the charges against him was immense, and the city held its breath, bracing itself for a legal battle that would determine the fate of its mayor and test the very foundations of its governance. The case against Mayor Adams took a dramatic turn when the Department of Justice, under the leadership of the recently inaugurated President Trump, made the stunning decision to dismiss all charges. The move sent shockwaves through the legal community and ignited a firestorm of controversy across the nation. Critics cried foul, accusing the Trump administration of blatant political interference in the judicial process. They pointed to the timing of the dismissal, coming mere weeks after Trump's inauguration, as evidence of an insidious quid pro quo. Rumors swirled that Adams, a once vocal critic of Trump, had struck a deal with the new administration, offering his support in exchange for the dismissal of the charges against him. The Justice Department, however, vehemently denied any allegations of wrongdoing, insisting that the decision to drop the charges was based solely on the merits of the case. They argued that the evidence against Adams was weak and circumstantial, lacking the substance to secure a conviction in a court of law. The dismissal was met with a mix of disbelief and outrage. Legal experts expressed astonishment at the Justice Department's rationale, questioning the sudden shift in their assessment of the case. The public, already deeply divided along political lines, erupted in a cacophony of accusations and counter-accusations. At the heart of the controversy surrounding the dismissal of charges against Mayor Adams lay a series of troubling allegations. Whispers of a quid pro quo arrangement between the mayor and the Trump administration spread like wildfire, casting a dark cloud over the entire affair. Sources close to the investigation claimed that Adams, facing the prospect of a lengthy trial and potential imprisonment, had offered to lend his support to Trump's controversial immigration policies in exchange for a pardon. These policies, widely condemned by human rights groups as cruel and inhumane, included the separation of migrant families at the border and the indefinite detention of asylum seekers. Adams, once a staunch advocate for immigrant rights, had seemingly reversed his stance, aligning himself with the Trump administration's hardline approach. The alleged quid pro quo raised serious concerns about the integrity of both the executive branch and the judicial system. Critics argued that Trump had abused his power, using the Justice Department as a tool to reward his allies and punish his enemies. They pointed to the fact that several high-ranking officials within the DOJ, including Attorney General William Barr, had close ties to the Trump family and had previously expressed their loyalty to the president. The allegations of a quid pro quo, if proven true, would represent a grave threat to the rule of law and the very foundation of American democracy. They would suggest that justice is no longer blind but rather a commodity to be bought and sold by the highest bidder. The dismissal of charges against Mayor Adams sent shockwaves through the American political landscape, raising profound questions about the state of justice and the rule of law in the era of Trump. The case, shrouded in allegations of political interference and quid pro quo arrangements, served as a stark reminder of the fragility of democratic institutions and the ever-present threat of corruption. The implications of this case extend far beyond the fate of one man or one city. It exposed a deeply troubling trend of political expediency trumping the pursuit of justice, where personal loyalties and political calculations take precedence over the impartial application of the law. This erosion of trust in the justice system has far-reaching consequences, undermining the very fabric of American democracy. The case also highlighted the growing partisan divide in American society, where political affiliations dictate perceptions of right and wrong, often overshadowing objective facts and evidence. The dismissal of charges against Adams was met with predictable reactions, with Trump supporters applauding the move and his detractors condemning it as a blatant abuse of power. The long-term implications of this case are deeply concerning. If left unchecked, this trend of political interference in the judicial system will continue to erode public trust in the institutions that are meant to safeguard justice and equality for all. It is a slippery slope that could lead to a society where the powerful are above the law and where political expediency trumps the pursuit of truth and justice.